I finally went to see Marty Supreme last week. One thing that really stuck with me is weirdly the one of the tank tops that Marty wears. It's like a very simple white tank top, but it has the best shape that I've ever seen, and I just can't stop thinking about that top. Usually when I watch a movie, my thoughts wander a lot, but in that movie, my thoughts were very into the movie, except when I was thinking about that top. Like I was thinking about that the tank top and I was like, that would be such a nice shape for a knitted tank top. I'm thinking about using Lean by Sonnes Garn, which is not the thinnest yarn that you can find, but I like the texture that it has and I like that it's a little bit see-through, and because it's been very sunny, I guess I'm just feeling like showing a little bit of my tits now. I need to order yarn because I don't have enough. I only have one ball of this yarn. One thing that I really hate about not being in Norway right now is that I wish I could go to a yarn shop, buy the yarn and start working on my tank top right away. But I need to order the yarn online. It's Friday now, so I know that I'm not gonna get it until at least beginning of next week, maybe even later than that. And it's a little bit frustrating to me because now that I have my idea in mind and I know what I want to do, I guess it's gonna give me some time to really be sharp and precise about exactly what I'm gonna do, like have a pattern made. And then when the yarn comes, I know that what I'm gonna start knitting is gonna turn out to be exactly what I want it to be. So I need to look at it that way, otherwise, I'm gonna start working on something else. Something else that I could be doing too is watch more movies, maybe even go back to the movies. Because going to the movies last week made me realize how much I've missed it and also how kind of precious it is to live near a city where you have movie theaters. Or maybe I'll just stay home and watch a bunch of other movies by the Savji, I don't know how their name is pronounced, the brothers. I fell in love with them when I watched Good Time for the first time. For me, Good Time is the example of a perfect movie with perfect rhythm, perfect acting, perfect everything. It's just one of my favorite movies of all time. And that's something that I also found in Marty Supreme, like the essence of their style of directing. Now the brothers, they have split and they're working on their own projects, but you can like it's so good and so special. So maybe I'll do that. I have watched a bunch of their movies, but I know that they also made a lot of short movies that I've never seen, and I don't know if I can find them that very easily, but if I can, that would be also a nice use of my time because that's not the kind of movies that I would want to watch while knitting because I want to be very focused on the movie, and so many things are happening all the time. You're just like stuck in the movie. I don't think I would like to be doing anything else when I'm watching one of their work. It only took a few days for my yarn to come, which I think was kind of really, really fast. And it gave me more than enough time to figure out exactly what I wanted to do with my tank top, like exactly the way that I wanted to construct it. Because when you design something, you have so many different options in terms of construction and the way you want to make your details. And usually, what I like to do is just imagine myself actually making the garment, and I try to find the nicest, like easiest, nicest way to get the result that I want. So I imagine different ways that I could go and then just decide the one that feels the nicest to work with. I usually like to work from top down so that I can try my garment on as I go, and just it's kind of a way to reassure myself that I'm going on the right path. So for this top, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna start here. So I'm gonna cast on stitches here. It's gonna be kind of narrow, so I'm not gonna cast on a lot of stitches, but just like about this much, I think, and then work a lot of increases to shape here. I think I'm gonna make the front piece and the back piece the exact same way. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna make the front piece, put it on my back, and check, kind of check. I don't know. I'm gonna check if I think it looks good on my back or if I need to shape it a different way. But in my head, now the front and the back are the same. And then I'm gonna attach, like put all the stitches together, start working in the round, but I'm not gonna work a lot in the round. I'm gonna work a little bit in the round and put those stitches on hold as I work all the details at the top, like here, and the straps. I never know how that's called, but just like this part of the tank top. For this, I'm gonna work in double knitting. I think it's just the nicest, neatest finish for this kind of project. That's what I want to work with. So I'm gonna first go here on this part, double knit a little bit, I think like 2 centimeters or something here, and then pick up stitches and also add more stitches for this part that is not attached to anything, and just like do a double knitted edge on both sides. Once this is done, I'm gonna have an idea of what the tank top is gonna look like, and then I can finish working on the body in the round. I'm not gonna do the entire body before I make those details, because if I don't like how it looks here, then I can just start again from the top, and I'm not gonna have wasted so much time on working the entire thing. I also had time to crochet a little bag for myself. So it's a pattern that I designed last year, and I just wanted to go back to crocheting because I haven't been crocheting in a very, very long time. I usually don't crochet that much during winter. And then when there's like one ray of sunshine, that's all I think about. I would just want to go back to crocheting. And because I was planning my tank top already and I was doing all these calculations and all those things, I just wanted to work on something very simple. So I took a pattern that I already made and just went to the yarn shop, bought some yarn. It's not the same yarn that I used for the bag that I made last year. So it ended up being a little bit smaller than the first one I made, but I also kind of really like this yarn. I think it's nicer than the one that I used. So last year I used this paper yarn to make my beach bag and to also make this bag, and it was nice, but it was also kind of hard on my hands. Like my hands were hurting a lot after working on it for a few hours. And this is a project that only takes a few hours to make. But this yarn, so it's also paper yarn, it's supposed to be kind of the same thing, but it was so much softer and nicer to work with. I think that's the one that I'm going to use because I have so many new projects that I want to work on with paper yarn for spring and summer, and I think that's the yarn that I'm probably gonna use. But yeah, it was just really nice to start crocheting again. I also made a teeny tiny kind of bikini bottom thing with the yarn that I used to make samples for my tank top, because I only had one ball of yarn and I knew that I couldn't use it on my actual tank top because the yarn that I ordered was definitely not going to be from the same color bath as that one ball of yarn. So I just made this kind of tiny bikini thing, and I think it's going to be nice to have a little bikini bottom match my tank top. So also a project that I already made last year, and that only took me maybe like 3 hours to finish crocheting. I think I'm just gonna go home and knit my tank top all day, and hopefully it's all gonna work out exactly as I planned. So this is what I have now. So I basically changed my mind about kind of everything. I was trying a bunch of things. I tried going from the top down a bunch of times, but I don't know, it just wasn't really working the way that I wanted it to. It wasn't as neat as I wanted it to, and it was just not clicking. So I decided to frog the entire thing and start again. So I worked from the bottom up this time. I worked in the round for the body, and then I separated the stitches for the front and the back. Worked the front and the back the same way with decreases here, and then I made a folded edge at the top, and now I've worked one strap. So I picked up stitches and then casted on new stitches here, and also worked this as a folded edge. So now I have to do that on the other side, and just weave in my ends, block it properly. I blocked, like pre-blocked it a little bit just to see if the gauge was okay and if everything was working the way that I wanted it to, because this yarn, when you work with it, it's not neat right away. Like it needs a little bit of blocking, I feel like, in order to look really nice and tidy and neat. So I'm gonna re-block it once I have all my straps. But for now, I've been home trying to figure this out for a few days, and I feel like I need to leave the house a little bit. So I'm gonna go to the beach and finish the other strap, because this is pretty straightforward. I've made one already, so I know that the other one is gonna look the exact same way. So no more thinking for me this week.